Hi guys, it's Shanae and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reacting to episode 19 of Under the Skin. I can't believe we're so close to the end of the series. If you have any suggestions for what I should react to next, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I don't have much else to say. I'm just really curious to see how things develop now that we know more or less what's going on, but obviously there's still a lot that can go wrong. Before we do get into it, however, I just want to say a quick and massive thank you to all my amazing patrons and channel members. If you're interested in joining all of those for early access and uncut reactions, the links for it will be in the description below, along with my social media and my PO box. And if you want to subscribe, that's always greatly appreciated. But now, without further ado, let's get into today's video.
不管逃到哪儿，他们总能找到我。
你杀了我的同事，我要杀了你。
给我一条路。 我想活下去。
现在就凭着一段录音和一个视频，就断定他有问题，这是不是有点？
谁都不希望自己的同志出现这样的问题，但是证据就摆在这儿，证据面前，人人平等。
What frustrates me is I agree with everything that he's saying. Everyone should be equal under the law, but it's interesting to me that he decided to interrupt the other police officer, almost as if he didn't want him to make a valid argument.
张姐，我愿意配合陆警官调查。
原大队长杜成。 涉嫌重大杀人案件，停止留查。从现在开始，分局刑侦大队大队长的职务由陆海洲同志暂时代理。与此案相关的所有档案资料将交由新的调查小组。
Like a good way to build up tension is showing how like he's using that piece of clay as a stress ball.
诸位，请你们务必配合我的工作。
It almost seems like they planned this from the start to create the opportunity to allow this man to get his hands on all the case files related to M and the other captain's death. But I should probably stop suspecting him because it probably has nothing to do with this.
郑老师，这个案子结束以后。 我非常希望您可以来市局工作，我那儿很缺你这样的人才，务必了。我相信陆队会还杜正清白。我想知道你那天晚上的行动轨迹。
I'm just a bit surprised because I would think that until they, like, a part of me expected him to be held in some sort of facility until they knew for sure if he was the killer, but I suppose they can't really do that. Yeesh. That's a bit risky. But it also means that he left the body unattended long enough for someone to plant the evidence on M that would frame Du Cheng for it. And that's why he woke up so disorientated.
我没办法证明监控中出现的人不是我，因为我和周军在2楼平台搏斗时经过了那个区域。
You have to respect the commitment he's going through, trying to find possible things that would have left trace evidence. what he realized. Because obviously there is someone already tampered with the footage, so what more is there to realize?
找到真相，只能靠你了。
Is he sketching the area?
在走到4层平台的时候，他听到一声巨响，看见 M 从上面坠落到1层。
This is basically just a storyboard of everything that's happened.
他直接跳到4层另一个滚梯口，冲进4层安全通道门进行拦截。进入安全通道后，看清此人正是
I love these transitions.
为摆脱杜城，所以监控拍到的绝不可能是杜城。
That is super impressive. But there's a few loopholes in this. One, where is the footage to prove that? I mean, we know it's been erased, but that's going to be the first question. Number 2, why is the footage then showing Du Chung if that isn't what happened? And number 3, they're going to argue that it's just Du Chung's word and basically his version of events. Why should we believe it?
叶干得漂亮！
我就知道这视频肯定被篡改过。
我就说吧，程队不可能是凶手。没错，周俊，这一切都基于我们相信杜城。我肯定是相信程队的。
我也相信，我也相信。
那我们现在是不是应该把周俊控制起来，还程队一个清白？陆队，接下来怎么安排？我们听您的命令。
That is very clever, because he's basically like putting the power back into the temporary captain's hands, but only after forcing his hands by making everyone declare their intention to pursue and prove Du Chung innocent. So his hands are kind of tied, even though it's gonna look like Shin Yi is deferring to him.
那种人对你来说是致命的，不得不解散了组织，但是这件事情就一直压在你心里，直到最近，你找到了那个叛徒，而且你还发现他正在试图接近一个警察，你心里什么感觉？我要除掉那个叛徒，也要除掉那个警察。除掉叛徒我能理解，除掉警察是为什么？太蠢了！为什么？你除掉一个警察只会招来更多的警察而已。我该怎么办？很简单，你除掉叛徒，然后嫁祸给那个警察。
You said it, he didn't. But I have to say, the fact that he so openly kind of threw that thought out there, like you kill the person and you frame the police officer, is kind of making me lean away from the thought that he could be involved in framing Du Chung, because if you were guilty, you wouldn't so openly acknowledge what you did in the form of speculation. You'd probably try and steer away from that being a possibility.
我们收到了一份关于你的举报。
不管找到哪儿，他们总能找到我。
你杀了我的同事，我要杀了你。
But you can hear that that extra part is edited because the tone doesn't match with the rest of the ambience. Like, you can, I don't know how to put it, but basically it's clear that, or it seems like it was edited in because the background noise changes between "you killed my colleague" and "我杀了你." The question remains, where did that second audio snippet come from if what I suspect to be true is indeed the case? When was there another opportunity for someone to hear him say something like that and record it?
选择营一系统，投中公司将会为每一位网络用户的信息安全建立起通强便利。
They keep cutting to that poster and I can't help but wonder if that's a
这是
hint.
我跟 M 通话内容的全部记录。
Is the person who is behind all this the guy that's running the security tech company? That would make the most sense. He would have the know-how to manipulate data on a computer, making whatever that was that they just showed disappear. He would know how to manipulate and edit footage to show what he wanted to show instead of the original footage. He would know how to edit audio in a relatively smooth way. That would also make sense why they keep on showing his face in the shots of the library that should be unrelated to anything.
该死了！通知法医。是。
It must be so frustrating for Du Cheng to be out of the loop like this.
这个视频里都是7年前人口贩卖组织拐卖的女孩们。我们在他的电脑里还发现了他追查 M 行踪的记录、M 死亡现场的照片，还有7年前雷队遇害的照片。
怎么会这么巧呢？刚要有线索，人就死了。
死因查到了，是光敏性癫痫痉挛。
Ah, which means that if he had a tendency to have epilepsy, then if it's the guy who's good at security, who I think it is, he could have forcibly overridden the system and shown him something that he could with like 99% certainty feel would trigger a seizure and possibly lead to death.
光敏性癫痫。
光敏性癫痫是由光源强刺激、闪光刺激等等视觉刺激引起的。受害人出现脑神经痉挛反应，在闪光的过程中或者是停止之后出现癫痫，进而死亡。
安装的是同城公司最新的安全防护系统，按理来说这个病毒应该是进不来的，但我查看了它的系统日。
That is the person I was referring to originally.
前半小时，它的安全防控系统就被卸载了。
遗憾，继续追查病毒来源，必要的时候让王安帮忙。之前我的调查方向有问题，是我的问题，我向你们道歉。接下来你们细心。
We appreciate the growth. Something I didn't expect to see.
并且得找到这个真凶，把他绳之以法，好吗？
What? What? So use your words.
经过同城公司顶尖技术人员的鉴定，
安装的是同城公司最新的安全防控系统。
M 跟我在电话里说，他早年曾听到过幕后老大的声音。
我肯定认为自己已经无懈可击了。这种情况下，他是不会再轻易露出任何破绽。
Shinji really has like transformed into a fully capable police officer at this point. I'm so proud of him.
为了保证安全性，这个地方需要具备最先进的安保系统，还要方便陈州监视和掌控。钟总，那个陈总出去开会了，您今天是？没事，我在这等他。哎，你们公司要不？
Of course, I remember now. He was introduced way back when in the episodes where we met Du Cheng's sister. He was introduced at the party. Yeesh, okay. Sorry, my brain failed me clearly.
你们这套安保系统最高级别是用在哪儿啊？陈总办公室啊，全公司就他自己一个人才有权进入，他就得用枪。
我觉得应该在他办公室，再去看看。你好。
哎，
洗手间在哪儿？
就在这里，左转。
啊，我去趟洗手间。
副总，这边请。谢谢你。
This is not gonna go smoothly. I highly doubt it. Also, if this place is so fancy, why doesn't it have like cameras everywhere? I'm stressed.
陈总，沈警官，找我有事吗？啊，我今天跟杜金总专门过来拜访的，刚好上趟洗手间一出来就迷路了。
哎，我以为你找不到卫生间呢，想不到你跟陈总先聊上了。
杜总你好。
你好，陈总，那个我记。
Interesting.
抱歉，杜总，接个电话。
啊，好。
喂。对，有事儿呢，待会儿给你回过去。
I'm assuming he's taking a fingerprint, and I'm not sure why. It's either to break into the office later, which I highly doubt, but it's theoretically an option. Maybe it's for crime scene purposes.
哎，对了，陈总平常也喜欢下国际象棋吗？喜欢。下棋是方寸之间的战争。 很有意思。
Is he purposely trying to draw attention to the one pawn
沈
missing?
警官对国际象棋也感兴趣吗？偶尔会玩玩。有没有兴趣？下一局。好啊。
你们俩玩，我后面还约了个人，我先走了。
Shinji, why do you always insist on putting yourself in a position where you're alone with a suspected criminal?
王毅骑兵，开局就攻击中心兵来抢占中心主动权。 虽然骑兵可以加快步子的速度，但也会让王的防线变得薄弱。沈总，
赌徒是走法，
兵不就是用来牺牲的吗？看来沈警官不仅是会下，而且还精通此道。不如杀一盘快棋吧，高手过招，来点有意思的。
I don't like this because it feels like he's taking this opportunity to analyze the way that Shinji thinks to use it later on, and I'm hoping that that's not the case.
陈总已经和我换了后，你还有多少资格一起？
任何一个兵只要逼到你的底线，就能升后。现在我用一个后换整个棋局的攻势，很值。真是一招好棋。 沈警官水平很专业啊！
我有一位好老师，杜尚，他还说过一句话。我有一位好老师，杜尚，他还说过一句话。
沈警官留下来陪我下棋，不就是有话要问吗？
本来想问的，但现在陈总的棋已经给了答案。 每一桩案子快要查到水落石出的时候，总有一只无形的手，突然就抹掉了所有的痕迹。那陈总有没有算过，在接下来这盘棋里，你还会损失多少棋子？
有些棋子本来就是为了牺牲而存在的。
This is so stressful. It's a chess game, but it's so stressful because you know there's subtext. And also, how is the final episode going to play out if we're already here? That is my concern.
早年陈总创建过一个 app， 叫宁静，用户可以免费分享到周围所有单身女性的住址、情感状态。
Oh, so that's how he knew which women to target, is that
知
it?
识资源可以共享，人的信息为什么不可以？
Because it goes against the Privacy Act, though I'm not sure if... Like, we have a Privacy Act called the Poppy Act, which disallows any company from using information that was not volunteered or from distributing information that was volunteered for one specific purpose.
沈警官要是感兴趣的话，欢迎你来到我们的发布会现场，您一定会对科技的力量有新的认识。这盘棋要继续下去，最大的可能性就是和棋。不过我从来不会主动求和，
同意。我也更喜欢晕。
Why is this so
就
stressful?
开不了了，我还要准备我的发布会，我们找机会再约。种子已经种下了，这等发布会那天见分晓。
This is
能
stressful.
够信任他，遇到什么麻烦跟我说。欺负我弟的人，我一定不让他好过。
Still.
放心，既然他笃定技术可以控制一切，那我就用我擅长的武器打败你。
Which is? I mean, besides art. But they were talking about him being a gambler. Gamblers are often very good at bluffing. So was he bluffing? That's interesting. I don't know, I'm probably thinking way too much into this, but the fact that he had to take out Shini's king by not playing by the rules tells me a lot about his faith in himself. The fact that he doesn't feel like he can win if he were forced to play by the limitations set by himself and Shini. Because if he genuinely felt like he could win, he either would have just left the game as is, or he would have played it out, challenging himself the most and still winning in the end. Because that would have scared the audience a lot more. So, I feel like this either shows that he is overconfident in himself, or that he is gonna do something that is completely not within the expectations that he has created for Shini and by extension the audience. But yeah, I'm super excited to see how the final episode plays out. I am a little bit worried because I'm aware that it ends kind of on a cliffhanger. I'm not sure what the cliffhanger is, which is what's stressing me out. The fact that like it could end on any level of cliffhanger. It could be like a mild cliffhanger, like oh they like take him down to an extent but he still gets away, to like in the middle of things being resolved it just ends. I'm not sure. I'm hoping for the former rather than the latter, because I can kind of live with the like there not being a season 2 if the case at least resolves somewhat. But if it just kind of ends and there's this need for there to have to be a season 2, I'm gonna be disappointed. I really hope that's not the case. Regardless, I'm excited to see how it ends, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. But otherwise, I'll see you guys again next time. 再见。